There's one thing that every successful person does. You might actually already know. Any guesses? Yes, they take action. No matter where you are in your journey, maybe you're like just beginning, maybe you are advanced, maybe you're intermediate. It doesn't matter where you're at. If you want to be successful, you got to take action because nothing changes without action. We have to take that first or second or third step. And maybe you don't know all the steps you need to take to get to your end goal. That's okay. You don't have to know everything. You just need to know the next steps in front of you. And then when you take those steps, the next steps will appear. It's kind of like a car. When we're in a car driving at night, we don't see the end destination. But what we do see are the next 200 feet in front of us. When we drive those next 200 feet, we see the following 200 feet. And that's perfectly good. That's all we need to see. The further we go on our path, the more we can see. And the more that our path becomes clear. Don't be afraid to take that first step. Don't be afraid to take that second step. Don't be afraid to take that third step. Just keep going. Keep pushing. Keep making progress. It's so important to make progress. People think that they have to make all this achievement. They have to have all these achievements in 1 or 2 days. That's not true. You don't have to become a voiceover artist. You don't have to become a professional overnight or in 1 week. Everybody has different speeds or makes progress at different times. As long as you're making small amounts of progress, that's okay. Don't feel bad. You're still making progress. You're still getting toward your goal. You're going to get there eventually as long as you don't stop. That's the most important thing, is just don't stop. If you miss a day or two, it's okay. Don't feel too bad. Just keep going. That's the most important thing, as I just said. So take action. Realize what your end goal is too. It's like we're like a car with a GPS. With the GPS, we know where the final destination is. But without a GPS, how are we going to get there? We don't have any directions. We don't have a map. So you got to know where you're going. And then start going. Start making those first steps, like I said. Find out what the next step is. Do you need the right equipment? Do you need to know how to perform in front of the mic? Maybe you need to overcome shyness. Maybe you need to enunciate more. Just take it a little bit at a time. Find out what your goal is and break that down into more manageable chunks. Maybe your end goal is you want to become a voiceover artist and get paid doing voiceovers from home. That's a great goal to have and very achievable. Break it down into smaller steps. What's the next step? What's the smallest thing you could do next? The smallest thing. Doesn't have to be big or medium, just a small thing. Think of that. And then do it. And then do the next small thing. And the next small thing. And then the next steps will show up. Okay, guys? So don't be afraid. Don't be intimidated. You don't have to be an expert at this. You don't have to be super knowledgeable about this. Just take the initiative, take the action to start learning and start getting that momentum going. The more momentum you have, the harder it is to stop, and the more immersed you become, and the more unstoppable you become. You got to decide. That's the most important thing right now, is to tell your mind that you are committed. Can you tell yourself, can you make a commitment to yourself that you want to do this, that you want to do voiceovers, that you want to achieve that final goal? Tell yourself that you are committed. Your subconscious will take that in. And you might not see the results right away, but your body, your mind is working actively to get you to that goal. The more specific you can be, the better. If you can tell yourself, I'm going to be a voiceover artist and make an income from home, a full-time income, within a year, your mind is now working actively to make this come true, because there's a conflict in our brains, there's a conflict in our mind, and our minds don't like conflict. So we work to resolve that. We work to make that come true. And even better yet, write this down. Studies show that we're much more likely to achieve things if we take the time to write them down. So write it down. It doesn't take more than 10, 20 seconds to write it down. Write down your end goal, make it specific, and put a deadline on it. Do that now if you can. And you will be amazed at how your mind and body works. and you'll see the progress, and you'll start taking the action that you need to become successful. And of course, practice. So thank you guys for tuning in. I really appreciate you guys tuning in with me. If you want to learn more, check out the link in my bio where I show you some of my secrets on how to get started doing voiceovers from home. Reach out to me if you have questions. Thanks again, guys. We'll see you next week. Same time, same place. Peace.